In 2017, Spider-Man turns 55 years old. Let's take a look at some of his most iconic anniversary covers. Hey everyone, this is vmcampos, longtime Spider-Man fan. The first comics that I ever collected were The Amazing Spider-Man back in the late 80s, early 90s. I still have all of those books 30 years later. It's hard to believe that back in 1992, it was Spider-Man's 30th year anniversary. Well, it's now 2017, and we're reaching his 55th. I wanted to take a look back at some of these iconic anniversary covers from his 30th anniversary. Now, it was the 90s, so gimmick covers ruled the land, and even though they helped cause the great comic book crash of the 90s, I loved them. At the time, Spider-Man was being published in 4 books: The Amazing Spider-Man, The Spectacular Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, and Spider-Man, which at one point would be called Peter Parker Spider-Man. So for the 30th anniversary, there were these covers with a bold color and a hologram. So let's check out these holograms. You can't really appreciate these unless you see them in person, and some of them are a little better than others. But here's the classic Amazing Fantasy 15 shot, his first appearance from 1962, as a hologram. This is another really good one, full of action and movement. The depth on this one is better, I think, than the previous one. On Web of Spider-Man, there he is on a building. And here he is, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Of the 4, I think I like the Spectacular Spider-Man cover a little better. I like the hologram on that one. So not only did they have these cool covers, they also had a poster inside. Let's check that out. These had a story or two in them. A lot of cool action, artists of the day, advertisements, but then they had a poster. Check out this amazing Spider-Man vs. Venom and Carnage by Mark Bagley and Randy Emberlin. That would look pretty cool on your wall. After McFarlane, Bagley was the superstar who really defined Spider-Man. It was a sort of cartoony, wiry depiction. He toned down Venom's crazy mouth and tongue, and I guess put it over to Carnage. That was on Amazing Spider-Man 365 in 1992. Next up is Spectacular Spider-Man. This one had a cool story. Art by Sal Buscema about the Green Goblin. But then the poster is an amazingly beautiful painting by Charles Vess. He painted this black costumed Spider-Man versus Hobgoblin. It's just stunning, this movement and action and quality. Let's take a look at some details. Before there was Venom, of course, Spider-Man wore this black costume, this what he found out to be an alien symbiont. And the Hobgoblin was a villain introduced in the 80s. That's the definition of epic. And that was in Spectacular Spider-Man number 189. Web of Spider-Man. There's a long story here of Spider-Man recalling his past adventures and a lot of self-doubt. Then the poster features Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2099, who is just going to launch very soon. The art here is from the team that worked on Spider-Man 2099 in the beginning, Leonardi and Williamson. So when I saw this back in the day, I thought it was amazingly exciting. Spider-Man in the future, in the year 2099. The original Spider-Man 2099 costume was fascinating. It was familiar yet different, ominous, touches of the past, and a design for the future. And that was published in Web of Spider-Man number 90. And lastly, in Spider-Man, we get a really whimsical story about some guy possessed by an oversized Nintendo controller, that he can't handle it, and then there's a story coming full circle about who shot Uncle Ben and his origin and all of that. The poster kind of stands out, not part of the bunch here, I feel, but it's Captain America and the Silver Surfer with Spider-Man. This one is done by Ron Lim. Ron Lim took on the Herculean task of drawing the Infinity War series back in the day. Spider-Man has run into a variety of characters throughout his years. He's fought alongside the Silver Surfer and Cap. And that was in Spider-Man number 26. If you ever have a chance to look at these in person, again, they're pretty impressive. Good holograms can be really fun. Nowadays we have variant covers as the gimmick, but give me a chromium, holographic, lenticular behemoth of the 90s any day. So this has been vmcampos. Don't forget to subscribe for more comic book related videos. See you at the comic shops.